Class ninth. Today we are going to start new chapter, which is force and laws of motion. Force and laws of motion. So we know that what is force. In class 8 we already discussed more and more about force, types of force. In class 9th we just brief it and then after proceed on next topic, which is laws of motion. Laws of motion. Okay, see, we know that when we push or pull any object, then it's said to be force, and the SI unit of force is kg into meter per second square, and it is also known as Newton. So this is all about force. We can also say that if force is applied on an object, it change their position with respect to time. So these all facts related to force. You have to read the introduction part of this textbook. This is all about force. Now we also know that there are two types of force. One is balanced force and second is unbalanced force. Okay. So first, if I just take brief of force, then force is equals to mass into acceleration. Okay, we know that what is mass. So mass and acceleration, change in velocity upon time. Okay. We also know that the SI unit of mass is kg and the SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. And the concept of force is come by Isaac Newton. That's why the SI unit of force is known as Newton, and which is denoted by capital N. SI unit. Okay. So this is all about force. What we already discussed and we know. Okay, now the force divide among two type. This force is divide among two type. One is balanced force and second is unbalanced force. So balanced force and unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Okay, we know that what is balanced and what is unbalanced. If I push this whiteboard from this way and another person is also push this board from this side at equal amount of force, it means that if I apply 5 Newton and a person from this side also apply 5 Newton, then it's said to be balanced force, and in this situation object remains at rest, because an object move unless and until there should be unbalanced force act. So it is balanced force, so this object cannot able to move anywhere. So balanced force is all about, if this is book, then we talk about if force is applied from this direction, force is applied from this direction. If this direction 1 Newton and from this direction also 1 Newton, then it's said to be balanced force. Balanced force. Okay. If now the next situation is, if force is applied from this direction is 5 Newton and force is applied from this direction is 2 Newton, then it's said to be unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Okay. In this case, object move from this way, because larger the value of Newton is from this direction. That's why the force is said to be unbalanced force. So the object become move from this direction to this direction. Okay. whenever unbalanced force act, we also calculate the net force and or resultant force, which is resultant force. What is resultant force? So resultant force is all about 5 Newton minus 2 Newton. 5 Newton minus 2 Newton. Okay. Which is 3 Newton. Okay. Next topic is Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Newton's first law, and it is also said to be first law of motion. First law of motion. So first we have to write down what it states, and then after we explain it. Okay. So first it states that an object continue an object continue continue to be in rest, to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion along a straight line along a straight line unless or until act upon by an unbalanced force. Act upon unbalanced force. So the concept of first law of motion is very simple. See, whenever an object at rest, it remains at rest, or whenever an object in uniform motion, it remains at motion. It remains in motion unless and until their unbalanced force act. So if a fan is at rest, when we put on an unbalanced force, then it become in motion. And whenever cycle is in motion, we apply unbalanced force to stop it. It means that unbalanced force is necessary for an object come rest from motion or from motion to rest. Simple concept is that whenever an object is at rest, if we want, this become in motion, we apply some amount of force. And whenever an object is at motion, if we want it become in rest, we apply some external force. And this is all about Newton's first law. I repeat, if an object is at rest or in uniform motion, they continue their state unless or until their unbalanced force not act. Okay, so in your textbook there are several examples put in the paragraph in this section. Uniform to rest, rest to motion, motion to rest. You have to read carefully. So the next term after first law of motion is inertia. What is inertia? So it is very simple. First I am going to write their definition, then I will explain you. Okay. The natural tendency of an object. The natural tendency of an object the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in their state of rest or in uniform motion is called inertia. Okay, simple. The natural tendency of an object, if this board is at rest, now the natural tendency of this board is at rest, so the inertia of this board is at rest. If planets, galaxies, stars are moving, even sun is also moving, then the natural tendency of sun, moon, planet, galaxies, particles of matter are in motion. Then the inertia of these all things are in motion. So inertia is all about the natural tendency, whether is it in motion or at rest. And if we change their inertia, we have to put some external force on it. If we merge this inertia into this first law of motion, Newton's first law of motion, then we have an object continue their inertia unless and until there should be an unbalanced force act upon it. So this is all about inertia and Newton's first law. Inertia is a natural tendency of an object, whether is it in motion or at rest. The inertia of an object is measured by kg. The inertia of an object is measured by the mass of an object. Therefore, the SI unit of inertia is also kg. The SI unit of inertia is kg because the inertia of an object is measured by the mass of an object. Therefore, the SI unit of inertia is kg. Okay. Next topic is second law of motion. second law of motion. In next lecture we will discuss about second law of motion, about momentum, and also we prove mathematically second law of motion, where we have force is equals to mass into acceleration. We prove mathematically force equals to mass into acceleration. Then after we talk about third law of motion. So in next lecture we do it according this procedure. Thank you. Okay, so class 9th motion completed. Now we proceed on chapter 9, class 9th, which is force and laws of motion. Force and laws of motion. Okay, yesterday in previous lecture we discussed about introduction part of force, types of force, balanced force, unbalanced force, and we also talk about Newton's first law or first law of motion. We talk about inertia. So you have to revise all of them. Today we are discussing about Newton's second law or second law of motion. Okay, so topic is second law of motion, second law of motion, or Newton's second law, Newton's second law, Newton's second law. Okay, so see, first we have to state what Newton's second law say. Okay, so it states that the rate of change of momentum, the rate of change of momentum, the rate of change of momentum, okay, momentum is a new term. I will discuss in next. Change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the applied force, directly proportional to the applied force, applied unbalanced force, applied unbalanced force in the direction of motion, Okay, so see, we need to concentrate on these terms, the rate of change of momentum, So the question is arise, what is momentum? So first we discuss about momentum, then we discuss about Newton's second law. Okay, we take this term momentum first of all, #momentum. Okay, what is momentum? So momentum is nothing, just product of mass and its velocity. If an object moving at the velocity of 5 meters per second having mass of 5 kg, then its momentum is just equals to 5 into 5, which is 25 kg into meter per second. Okay, see, momentum is denoted by P. It is just the product of mass and its velocity. If an object is moving at the speed of 5 meters per second
and the mass of an object is 5 kg, then the momentum of an object is 25 kg into meter per second. Kg into meter per second. So kg into meter per second is the SI unit of momentum. So I think you understand the concept of momentum. Just the product of mass into velocity. Okay. Now come back to the Newton's second law. The rate of change of momentum. We know that the rate of change of velocity is known as acceleration. Just recall the acceleration, the formula of acceleration: v minus u upon t. So rate of change of velocity. So rate is considered as t. If you go in market, just ask the price of the rate of sugar. So shopkeeper said 5 kg per kg, 5 rupee per kg, 5 rupee per kg. So here rupee is the rate. Similarly, here the acceleration is the rate of velocity is measured in term of time. Okay, so the change in velocity is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity. Just we apply this case into this also case. We know that the momentum of an object is mass into velocity. If we say that change in velocity, then it is equals to v minus u. If we say change in momentum, then is it equals to mv minus mu, where u is the initial velocity of an object and v is the final velocity of an object. If an object is moving at initial velocity, then the momentum of an object is mu. If an object is moving at final velocity, then we say that the momentum of an object is mv. The change of momentum is equals to mv minus mu. If we talk about rate of change of momentum, then we say that mv minus mu upon te. So this is the rate of change of momentum. Now of an object is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force. We consider it directly proportional to the applied force, which is denoted by F. Okay, we need to prove this Newton's second law mathematically, in which we need to prove this formula. We need to formulate force equals to mass into acceleration by this Newton's second law. This Newton's second law is all about the rate of change of momentum. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force. Okay, let us see how we prove this in term of mathematically. See how second law of motion or Newton's second law prove mathematically. We need some value to prove second law of motion. Let us assume an object is moving at the speed, initial speed u, final speed v, having mass m. Time taken by an object to cover some certain destination is equals to t. Acceleration a and momentum p, and initial momentum p1 and final momentum p2. Okay, so this is initial velocity, this is final velocity, this is mass, this is time, this is acceleration, this is momentum, this is initial momentum, and this is final momentum. Okay, so now according to question, the rate of change of momentum, according to law, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to applied unbalanced force. So first of all we have to find out change in momentum. Change in momentum means P2 minus P1, final momentum minus initial momentum, just equals to change in velocity, V minus U. Similarly, final momentum minus initial momentum, which is P2 minus P1. Okay, here P2 is final momentum, which is equals to mv, and P1 is equals to initial momentum, which equals to mass into initial velocity mu. Okay, now the second term is rate of change of momentum, which is equals to P2 minus P1 upon T, which is equals to mv minus mu upon T. Okay, and let us take F is equals to unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Okay, so according to law, unbalanced force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum, which is mv minus mu upon T. Okay, mv minus mu upon T. If we remove this directly proportional into constant term into equals to, then we need to put some proportionality constant. Just remember, if we remove this proportionality, we need to take a proportionality constant to just place equals to in the place of proportionality. So we place k as a proportionality constant. Okay, now in this term m is there, we take as a common m, v minus u, okay, upon t. Okay, now we know that just take k is equals to 1, and 1 into this, which is equals to this. Okay, we know that v minus u upon t is equals to acceleration, rate of change of momentum. So just we use this formula and put acceleration. Okay, k into ma, and we take k as a 1, so 1 into m into a, which is equals to m into a. Okay, so we have a formula which is force is equals to mass into acceleration. So by this way we get the formula of force, which is equals to mass into acceleration. Okay, so this is all about mathematically proof of second law of motion, or Newton's second law. Okay, mathematical proof. Okay, you need to drive these all things in your notebook and revise them. Okay. Now let us proceed on third. Let us proceed on third law of motion, which is known as Newton's third law. So it is very simple. It states that every action having equal and opposite reaction. Okay, this is all about Newton's third law. Every action having equal and opposite reaction. See how, if we apply force on this board get destroyed, and also my hand is hurt or will hurt. Okay, so if we put some force on it, the shape of this board will change, and I will also getting some amount of force in return of this board. Okay, so we can say that if we apply some action, it gives you some amount of reaction. Okay, and it gives you reaction is equal to the amount of action. So we can say that every action, it means that your action, applied force is an action, is equal and opposite to the reaction. Equal and opposite. If you apply 5 Newton of force, then it gives you 5 Newton in reverse. If you apply, then you get. Okay, if you apply 5 Newton, you get also 5 Newton. Okay, you apply as a action, you get as a reaction. So Newton's third law is only about every action having equal and opposite. Opposite means if you apply force in this direction, you get the reaction into this direction. So equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So every action having equal and opposite reaction. Okay, in next lecture we took some examples related to Newton's third law. Okay, and now this chapter will finish. Okay, so go to home, read this chapter carefully, revise it, write down the definition and the derivation of all the important things whatever I was taught you in online classes. Okay, and revise it carefully. Okay. Good morning everyone. In previous lecture, we discussed about Newton's first law, second law, third law, which is also known as first law of motion, second law of motion and third law. Today we are going to discuss about conservation of momentum. Let us see what is conservation of momentum. We already know about momentum. What is momentum? The product of mass of an object and the velocity attained by an object is known as momentum. If an object having mass m and the velocity attained by it is v, then momentum, which is denoted by p is equals to m into v. So today we talk about conservation of momentum. What is the meaning of conservation? Conservation means before and after that situation the value is remains same. Means if we talk about conservation of energy, it means that energy neither be created nor be destroyed. Similarly, momentum neither be created nor destroyed. So the value of momentum is same in any condition. Let us see the explanation of conservation of momentum. Okay. Let us take two objects A and B. A, B. Okay. The mass of object A is equals to MA and the mass of object B is equals to MB. Okay. Initial velocity is UA initial velocity is UB. Similarly, final velocity is VA and final velocity of object B is VB. Okay. Time taken is same. T, time is T. Okay. Now, this is assumed part. What we assume. Okay. Now consider the situation of momentum. We have three situations. Let us see. We have first situation, case 1 is before collision. So collision is all about interaction of two objects. This is collision. Okay. Now, see, before collision, if we talk about before collision, then this object A and the object B are going in this direction. Means right now collision is not happening. The situation before collision. So before collision, the velocity of object A is UA and the velocity of object B is UB. Okay. We know that mass of an object is MA, the mass of an object B is MB. Okay. If we talk about momentum of object A, PA is equals to MA UA, and if we talk about momentum of object B is equals to MB and UB. Okay. Now we have a term which is known as momenta. See, what is momenta? Momenta is just plural of momentum. If we talk about the momentum of object A and B, then we also say momenta. Okay. So momenta of A and B is the sum of individual momentum of each other. So the momenta of an object A and B is equals to MAUA plus MBUB. MAUA plus MBUB. Okay. Now, next case is case second, after collision. See, after collision. After collision, after collision, after collision, after collision, the velocity of A is VA and the velocity of object B is VB. Okay, and the mass is remains same before after collision, MA and MB. Now the momentum of object A is MA VA and the momentum of an object is momentum of object B is MB and VB. Okay, MB and VB. Now again we talk about if momenta of an object A and B in second case, means in after collision, the momenta is now momenta is equals to MAVA plus MB VB. Okay, so remember these two values. Remember it. Okay. Now, the last case, or we can also say that the case between first and second, which is at the time of collision. If we talk about before collision, means the situation before collision. Okay. And if we talk about after collision, which is the case which happened after collision, then there is also case between before and after is at the time of collision. At the time of collision, okay. If at the time of collision, what will happen? Let us see. At the time of collision, the force act on marker, black marker by red marker, and the force on red marker by black marker. So this red marker apply force on black marker and this black marker apply force on red marker. So this is the situation where two forces are active. One is in this direction and second is in this direction. Okay, let us talk about this situation mathematically. See, there is a case between before collision and after collision, which is at the time of collision. At the time of collision. See, at the time of collision, both object A and object B, both are in contact. So the force overlap on each other. Means the force act by object A apply on object B, and the force act by object B is applied on object A. There is a force act in this direction which is FAB, AB, okay, and there is a force act in this direction which is force BA, AB and BA. Okay, so if we talk about force AB is equals to minus force BA. Here this minus is only for indicating the direction of both force is opposite to each other. Means the direction of this force AB is just opposite to the direction of force BA. Okay. We also know that force is equals to mass into acceleration. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. Let us see. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. If we talk about acceleration, then we already assume VA minus UA upon T minus MV VB minus UB upon T. Okay. T cancel out. Okay. If you multiply this MA into VA, then obtained value is MA VA minus MA UA, which is equals to minus MB VB this minus and this minus become plus MB UB. MB UB. Okay. MB UB. Okay. If you arrange it then we get MAUA plus MBUB is equals to MB VB plus MA VA plus MB VB. So this is the final result of this topic, which is the momenta before collision. How we get before collision? Because in both terms we have U. In both terms we have U. U is for before collision. So the momentum means the momentum of object A and B before collision and after collision both are equal. Hence, this value is also known as law of conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum. Okay. I repeat it. We have mass MA, mass MB of object A and B respectively. We have three situations. First situation is before collision, second situation is at the time of collision, and third situation is after collision. Okay. Before collision, the velocity of object A is UA and the velocity of an object B is UB. Hence the momentum Hence the momentum produced by both objects is also known as momenta of object A and B, which is equals to MA plus MBU. Okay. After collision, the velocity of object A is VA and the velocity of object B is VB. Okay. Now the momenta of object A and B is MAVA plus MBVB. Okay. Now we talk about at the time of collision. At the time of collision. At the time of collision. At the time of collision, when two objects are in collision, okay, so one object apply force on other and other apply force on first, okay, but in opposite direction. In opposite, one is in this direction, one is in this direction, okay. Hence we can write force AB, which is developed by, which is act by object A, and force BA, which act by object B. So FAB equals to minus FBA. This minus indicate the force of direction is in opposite to the first force. Okay. Force developed by object A, which is equals to mass of A into acceleration of A, MA, AA, MB, AB. Okay. Now we know that acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Rate of change of velocity, the acceleration of object A is equals to VA minus UA upon T, and the acceleration developed by object B is equals to VB minus UB upon T. T cancel out. Now after solving it, we get a final result, which is the momenta of both objects, the momenta of object A and B before collision and after collision, the momenta remains same. Hence, this required value is known as law of conservation of momentum. Law of conservation of momentum. Okay, thank you. Okay, so good morning everyone. Yesterday in previous lecture we discussed about conservation of momentum. We got exact value by which we say that the momentum neither be created nor be destroyed. Means we have the equal momenta before collision and after collision. Whatever the values are there, I think you got it. M1 U1 or MA UA plus MB UB. This is the momenta of object A and B before collision is equals to MA VA plus MB VB. This is the momenta of object A and B after collision. The momenta before collision and the momenta after collision of two objects is remains same. Okay. So today we are going to solve some numericals based on conservation of momentum. Okay, let us see first question. A bullet of mass 20 gram. A bullet of mass 20 gram horizontally fired with a velocity 150 meter per second from a pistol of mass 2 kg, and what is the recoil velocity of pistol? Okay, so first we need to write down the given part. So given is first mass of bullet
mass of bullet is equals to 20 gram, okay, which is equals to 0.02 kg. So which is equals to 0.02 kg. Okay, now we have the velocity of pistol. Okay, so the mass of pistol is equals to 2 kg and velocity of pistol is equals to, the velocity of bullet is equals to 150 meter per second. So the mass of bullet and mass of the mass of bullet and the velocity of bullet are given, okay, and the mass of pistol is given. We need to find out the velocity of pistol. So let the velocity of pistol be v meter per second. We just take it v. Okay, we know that the momenta before collision and after collisions, means the momenta before firing and after firing is remains same. Okay, so the momenta before firing the momenta is equals to the momenta is equals to before firing both bullet and pistol are in rest. So before firing mass of bullet into initial velocity of bullet plus mass of pistol into initial velocity of pistol is equals to mass of bullet into final velocity of bullet plus mass of bullet into final velocity of mass of pistol, final velocity of pistol. Okay, so let us see how we can find the value of required the velocity of pistol. So let us see. The mass of bullet is equals to 0.02 kg. Initial velocity of bullet is 0 because bullet is at rest in pistol, so it is 0. Okay, plus mass of pistol is equals to 2 kg, and also pistol is at rest because no force exerted. Okay, the force exerted after reaction or after action, okay, after firing it experience force. Okay, so the velocity of initial velocity of bullet and pistol both are equal. Okay, so hence the momenta of both pistol and bullet before firing is equals to 0. Okay, now the mass of bullet is again 0.02 kg and the velocity of bullet is 150 meter per second. Okay, plus mass of pistol is 2 kg. Okay, and velocity of pistol we have to find out, we have to find out. Okay, so let us see how we find the value of. Now you have to multiply this 150 into 0.02. 150 into 0.02. Okay. Okay. So after multiplying 150 into 0.02 we get 3, and then after plus 2 into v, 2v. Okay, so we have 3 plus 2v is equals to 0. If you find out the value of v, you need to
just convert from LHS to RHS, and then you got 3 upon minus 3 upon 2, which is equals to minus 1.5 meter per second. So here the velocity of, this is the velocity of pistol, which is equals to minus 1.5. Here this minus 1.5, here this minus 1.5 indicating the velocity of pistol is just opposite to the velocity of bullet. If the direction of bullet is in this direction, then the direction of pistol is in this direction. Okay, if it is in forward, then it is in backward direction. Okay, so this is all about the first numerical, which are based on conservation of momentum. Just we use this formula. The formula is the momenta before collision and after collision remains equal. Let us move to another numerical. See what is second numerical. Okay, so see the next question. What the next numerical asks to find out. A girl of mass 40 kg. A girl of mass 40 kg jump on a horizontal velocity. With a horizontal velocity of 5 meter per second on a stationary car with frictionless wheel. The mass of the car is 3 kg, and what is her velocity as the car starts moving? Let us assume the unbalanced force is not on the direction of motion. Okay, so just we have to find out what is the given part in this question. So given part is first, the mass of girl is 40 kg. The mass of girl is 40 kg. Okay, and the mass of girl is 40 kg, and the initial velocity of girl is 5 meter per second. 5 meter per second. Okay, now the mass of cart is equals to 3 kg. The mass of cart is 3 kg, and their initial velocity is 0 because question give you information about a stationary cart. Stationary cart means a cart right now in rest. Okay. So if you find out the momenta before collision between girl and cart, then you have such type of data, which is mg into ug. Okay, mass of girl into initial velocity of girl plus mass of cart into initial velocity of cart. Okay, so this is 0 because the initial velocity of cart is 0, and the mass of girl is 40 into 5, which is equals to 200, Okay, now let us find out when girl jump on cart, when girl and cart both are in motion. Okay, so the momenta of girl and cart in first case is equals to 200 kg into meter per second. Okay, in second case the velocity of girl and cart is equal, hence we take it is as a common, and mass of girl plus mass of cart is equals to 200. Okay,
So this is the momenta of second and this is the momenta of first. So before and after, whatever the momentum of girl and card, both are equal according to law of conservation of momentum. So Vg, mass of girl is 40 and mass of card is 3 into 200. So velocity of girl is equals to velocity of girl when the card is start moving. Card is start moving. So 200 upon 43, which is equals to 4.65 meter per second. 4.65 meter per second. So the question is all about law of conservation of momentum, in which a girl of mass 40 kg jump with a horizontal velocity of 5 meter per second. So in first case, the momentum of girl in first case is equals to mass of girl into velocity of girl, which is equals to 40 into 5, which is 200. Okay, 200 kg into meter per second. Okay, and momentum of cart on the stationary card. So the mass of card is 3 kg, but right now card is at rest. It is in a stationary mode. That's why the velocity is 0. Hence the momentum in first case is 0. Then the momentum of girl and the momentum of card, the sum of these two momentum is said to be momenta of girl and card become 200 in first case. Okay, in the momenta of first case and second case, both are equal to each other. So that's why we take it, this is the momenta of girl and card in second case, and this is the momenta of girl and card in first case. So both are equal, and by this way we get the velocity of girl. The velocity of girl when card starts moving. So the velocity is 4.65. So you need to solve more and more question related to conservation of momentum. In your textbook, example are also given.